This is Sean Paul Day, and as always, I'm winging it for all you knights of the road out there. It's been a very busy week as far as the cab trade goes, hasn't it? And it started with Peter Blake from TFL, who did nothing but writhe and riddle and stammer and stutter his way, trying to defend TFL from accusations that someone had just walked in and fraudulently, with ease, was granted a private hire driver's license. Effectively what happened was someone went in with somebody else's driving license, their MOT, inappropriate insurance, and not their logbook, and very easily walked back out without really being questioned with a private hire driver's license. Now, this should be of concern to absolutely everyone. The licensed taxi trade have been saying for the last 2 to 3 years that TFL are not licensing private hire, they are literally selling licenses. It should really be of concern considering the insurmountable increase in sexual assaults that are happening in private hire vehicles. And it should also be worrisome why TFL are reluctant to release the figures of how many are being sexually assaulted in private hire vehicles. And why would they not want to release those figures? Surely then people could make a calculated decision of how they would travel. They might even choose a taxi. How about that? Just something else that amounts to state kind of protectionism of private enterprise. There's another Peter Anderson from the Canary Wharf Group. Now, Peter Anderson feels qualified to comment on how expensive taxis are. Remember, Peter Anderson sits on the board of TFL, and he says although he is able to afford taxis, he doesn't take them because he thinks they are too expensive. I have a really big problem with that. I have a real big problem, not just because taxis quite often compare very favorably with Uber, and it is Uber who we are talking about, because it seems like if you're not working on the Uber platform, then you're anti this or anti that or anti something else, whatever. But the main problem I have with Peter Anderson is the fact that the vehicle I drive is instructed by them. I do not have a choice of vehicle. I drive what they say I am able to drive. That is very clear. Now, the tariff, TFL set the tariff based on meeting the running costs of the prescribed vehicle they say I have to drive. Without either of those, I would not be able to work as a licensed taxi driver. So can someone from TFL please inform me, please instruct me, because I'm beside myself. No matter what angle I look at it, I cannot work it out. So if someone from TFL can tell me how I can contradict laws set in place by that governing body, I'd be very grateful, because I am totally confounded by it. Leon Daniels, a couple of weeks ago, he goes on record on the radio to say that it's not his job to interfere with the market. Again, it is your job as regulator, Leon Daniels, to interfere with the market, because not to interfere is the antithesis of your remit as a regulator. It is your job to prevent rogue industries from infiltrating your regulated trade. Because these industries, it wouldn't be Asaf with his 3 cars in Dalston, would it? It would be the corporate money men who want to just cream profits off the top. They have no regard for what system or what vehicles would enter the market, but you have facilitated a rogue industry to come in and decimate that market. Now, as regulator, you should see that their vehicle does not meet the conditions of fitness, and their driver does not meet the required standard to work on the on-demand market. because that is what they are, that is what they say they are. On top of that, the foreboding thing here is, I think many in the trade do not feel represented, and that comes down to the LTDA. At the moment, people feel very vulnerable, and the stakeholders, in inverted commas, those who are siphoning money off the trade, are taking advantage of it. But I'm going to come back to that because it's a big one. So until then, I'll see you on the mean streets.